So, what if I told you that low libido or painful sex isn't just hormones and that there's more to the story? That's what we're going to talk about today. Welcome back to the channel. It's Dr. Deborah Durst, and I am a specialist in sexual medicine. So, if you want to learn more tricks on how to have better sex, then like and subscribe to the channel so you'll get notifications about new videos. So today we're going to talk about a supplement that you can take that has a small study that just came out that improves sexual function for women. So we're going to talk about first, what is sexual dysfunction for women? What is nitric oxide, which is what the supplement improves? And then what is the supplement and what are the details of the study? So first off, sexual dysfunction for women is a very common disorder for women, and it happens more as we hit late perimenopause or menopause. Approximately 50% of women will be affected in some way, shape, or form. It's varying in what kind of symptoms women might have. So it could be anything from low sex drive to vaginal dryness and pain. That's an extreme. One is just a low sex drive, and one is you can't even have sex because you're having pain and vaginal dryness. In between that might just be low arousal. You're not getting aroused like you used to. Your orgasmic strength is not like it used to be. And then there's that vaginal dryness where you need lubricants to have sex. And then that can eventually lead to painful sex. So those are the varying degrees of sexual dysfunction for women. And it's just a very common disorder. So if you are experiencing one of those symptoms, just know you're not alone, and there are many things that we can do about it. But today we're going to talk about how nitric oxide might help improve that. And to understand that, we need to understand what nitric oxide is. So nitric oxide is a signaling molecule used in the body in many different organs. And so it improves blood flow essentially and has a communication system and signal in a blood vessel that dilates the blood vessel and improves blood flow. Nitric oxide is produced with a couple different pathways in the body, and one of them is an amino acid pathway, or L-arginine. And you'll hear a lot about that from men that are working out in the gym. They know it improves blood flow to the muscles in a workout, so they'll talk a lot about L-arginine almost in conjunction with nitric oxide, but it's really an amino acid, L-arginine, that they're taking to improve nitric oxide in the body. And that improves their sexual function too. So you will hear men talk about that a lot, but it actually improves everything for women too. And the L-arginine, or the amino acid pathway, isn't the only pathway that's used to produce nitric oxide in the body, which again is necessary for lots of different functions because it's a key signaling molecule in the body. But the other pathway is nitrates. And so if we take in enough like beets or leafy vegetables, we would get a nitric oxide production through the intake of nitrates. And that's where this supplement comes in, Berkeley Life Foundation, that we're going to talk about in this study that shows now that nitric oxide increase through the supplement of nitrates that improves your nitric oxide production in the body can also improve sexual function for women. And that is a great study. We have had documentation for men, but now we're actually proving that it actually helps with women as well. So those are the two pathways for nitric oxide production. Again, L-arginine amino acid, there's a nutrient, and the issue is that L-arginine or amino acid pathway sometimes decreases with age. But the fact that you can take a supplement and improve your nitrates and then not have to worry about getting enough of them in your diet. And it's not that we don't want you to worry about and eat the right things, but a lot of times we're not eating enough of the right things to produce the nitrates that will help increase nitric oxide in the body. So it improves blood vessel flow. There's a communication in the neural system. So that improves our sex drive and, a desire for sex or more frequent sex. And then it also improves our blood vessel function, or dilates the blood vessels for better blood flow to the organs, which would increase lubrication, arousal, orgasmic strength, all of those. So that's where the nitric oxide in this supplement come into play. The study that was done is a smaller study, but again, most of the stuff that we have on sexual dysfunction for women is actually based on surveys. So at least we have some data and objective data we're looking at. It was a 60-day study, and it only had 18 women with a mean age of 60, but various signs of sexual dysfunction. And then they rated to see if they improved, and they also did some salivary testing of the nitrates to see if they improved. And the nice thing about Berkeley Life Foundation is that supplement also has a salivary test that you can do. So it's a test strip that you can put underneath your tongue, and it will give you a color result of whether you're low, you're adequate in nitrates, and it will then show an improvement after you've taken the supplement. So it's nice when you can actually get a measurement, a result, you can see something objective and then see improvement after you've taken the supplement. And that's what they also did with this study. So it was a 60-day study, and then it improved multiple domains of sexual function for women. So those ones that we talked about, 75% of those women had improved desire. And again, that's their neural component of that in improving also sex drive. So 75% had improved desire. 58% had improved lubrication. 83%, and that's huge, 83% of the women had enhanced orgasms, and 83% of them had less pain with sex. So those are huge numbers for a supplement. Again, something that you can take that is just supplementing dietary nitrates. And it's 2 capsules a day you take. You can always get the test strips as well. And you can do that starter kit with even Berkeley Life. And there'll be a description and a link in the description on how to get those products. But the fact that we now have even a small study that shows improvement in women, because women have been left behind. We haven't looked at them as much when we're looking at PD5 inhibitors, the little blue pill. We're not looking at women as much when we're talking about nitric oxide and sexual improvement and better erections. Men have kind of known that for years, and now we're just seeing the first small study for improvement for women. So this is progress, and it goes along with everything else we're progressing right now in women's health. And so it's exciting times for women. And just know that if you're experiencing any of those symptoms we talked about, such as the low sex drive, the low arousal, the low orgasmic strength, or vaginal dryness or pain, that it is a very common complaint with women, but it doesn't have to be something that you live with. And this now allows us to see something and provide us another tool for comprehensively treating women so that they can have the same sex, or maybe even better, throughout perimenopause and menopause. So look for the description link for Berkeley Life Foundation. That's the supplement we're talking about. And I want to know if you have any other experience that you want to share, anything else you want to talk about, because I'm willing to deep dive into anything sexual wellness or wellness.